Good evening. You're through to Chig, Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time I'm bringing to you Eagle Eye, the transfer rumor show where I talk to you about Arsenal transfer news. No, you didn't know I was going to do this. Truth be told, I didn't know I was going to do this. I thought I was going to put it off until tomorrow. But then some breaking news happened. Something was brought to my attention, which I had to bring up and discuss. And that was our former Arsenal captain for a cup of coffee, and that is Granit Xhaka. Yes, Granit Xhaka, the man who's arguably played quite well and actually got my man of the match for this game. Um, Granit Xhaka, according to his agent, has agreed personal terms with a move to Hertha Berlin. Now, obviously, we saw this story earlier this week about Hertha Berlin being linked with a move for Granit Xhaka. And Granit Xhaka is very interested in a return to the Bundesliga anyway. Obviously, that's where he's had most of his success. I believe his brother plays out there. All in all, again, I think it's. Sorry, I just realized I'll probably be lagging because I'm loading up things again. All in all, it's probably a league that suits him better, given the fact that he will have more time there to be able to do the things that Granit Xhaka is good at doing. But it seems as though his agent came out and has confirmed the rumors prior to an agreement actually being made with the club. So I must say that based on this story, the deal is for personal terms that have been agreed. There's still not a deal between the two clubs. The reason being because Hertha Berlin have offered 25 million euros. Arsenal themselves want 30 million pounds, as in sterling. So obviously there's still a bit of a gap there. But as things stand, Granit Xhaka has agreed a move to Hertha Berlin. I'm going to just give you some of the details of the story. Obviously, he's 27 years old. The belief is that Granit Xhaka is keen to return to the Bundesliga after agreeing a deal in principle with Hertha, although the German club have not reached an agreement with Arsenal. And this was a quote from Xhaka's agent, Jose Nogueira, and this was told in the German publication Blick. I'm going to quote him directly here. It says, "Look, I'll say it frankly and honestly. We are in agreement with Hertha BSC, and I'd like to go to Berlin." And that's straight from Xhaka's agent, Jose Nogueira. He says, "We've told Arsenal club boss Raul Ciliani, and sporting director Edu Gaspar, and also the new coach Mikel Arteta knows." So it almost brings to the point that if Arteta's told you he wants to leave, why are you starting him? I mean, I know he played well, but why are you starting him? Arsenal were informed of all the steps. The player and Hertha are clear. It's only about the fee between the clubs. This is according to Blick, the same publication, says that Hertha have offered 25 million euros, which is about 21 million pounds. And Arsenal are trying to hold out for closer to 30 million. So, yeah, that's exactly where we at the moment in terms of that deal. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Are you? Where do you think? What do you think of the deal? Are you happy? Do you think it will end up happening? Obviously, this is a bit of a surprise, given that Granit Xhaka has just played quite well for Arsenal. But from my perspective, I've said this to you before. I'll say it again. I don't think there is a future for Granit Xhaka at this club. From our perspective, it's about getting a replacement in. Some people have said Adrian Rabiot is the way to go. Excuse me. Gosh. Some people say Adrian Rabiot is the way to go with that. Rabiot, if you asked me this time last year, I'd have been all about Rabiot. He hasn't had the greatest of form for Juventus, to the point where actually I think Aaron Ramsey warrants more of a place in the Juventus side than Rabiot does, to be honest. So it's the sort of thing whereby we know what Rabiot has. Can that adapt to the Premier League, and is that good enough? I'm more in favour of a brand new core of the midfield. Like I'd like an Ndidi type of player. I still like Decore as a player. I know Watford aren't doing great, but I still like Decore as a player. Some people have said Grealish would be a good replacement for him. I never really rated Grealish until maybe the last 3 months. I think he's quietly a really good player, actually. And if we could get a decent fee for Granit Xhaka, why not just slap it down and go and get Villa's captain? He will want to come. He will want to come. And I just feel like he's a decent enough player, actually, that I think that might be a sensible move. He's bang on form. Keeps scoring goals for Villa. So got himself an assist today. So yeah, this one's an interesting story. Let's see where it goes, because it's not every day that your agent baits you up and says, yeah, he's trying to get a move out of the club. But as things stand, Granit Xhaka is on his way, apparently, to leave Arsenal Football Club. Who would your replacement be? Leave it in the chat room. Leave it in the comments. If you're in the chat, you know what I'm like when it comes to these transfer stories. I like to just bang these transfer stories out, and I'll come to you guys shortly. So bear with me. If I'm missing any donations, I apologize. You know I'll cover them as soon as I come back in there. So yes, that is the story. Granit Xhaka agrees personal terms with Hertha Berlin, with the clubs yet to agree on a fee. So there you go. Another exit potentially out of the club. Do you remember a certain Mohamed El Nene? Yeah. Well, according to Mohamed El Nene's father, Mohamed El Nene, unbelievably, is closing in on a move to AC Milan. No, I did not stumble. No, I did not stutter. AC Milan, somehow, some way. This is according to Mohamed El Nene's father. He's made 17 appearances for Beşiktaş. I could never say that word properly. Obviously, the Turkish side, he's on loan there at the moment. But I believe that's either until January, or Arsenal have a recall clause in Mohamed El Nene's contract. Either way, the point is they're trying to sell him so that they can release some funds for obviously Mikel Arteta to spend in January. So I guess this is what Raul Sanelli meant when he meant that this is going to be more of a tactical window, whereas the summer window is more of a strategical one. So yeah, so this is, I guess, part of the tactics to just sell all our deadwood. Who knew? Other than yours truly, that we needed to sell our deadwood. Arsenal are short of funds and therefore could be interested in the experienced midfielder. Some much needed money. And then his dad, Nessia, has revealed that the Egyptian international could be on his way to the San Siro. Negotiations between Mohamed El Nene and Milan are at an advanced stage, but a contract has not yet been signed. They have renewed interest in my son, and in the next few hours could be decisive for the Milan. He did well with Beşiktaş and wants to move to a stronger league at Milan. So yeah, very interesting. So I can't see, I mean, considering AC Milan wanted Torreira, it's a bit of a surprise that they're settling for Mohamed El Nene. It's kind of like wanting a Five Guys burger and then settling for a Wimpy. It's like, why would you do that? But hey, it is what it is. Good news. I ain't gonna lie. I'm liking those two stories. Those stories, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm talking about now, because these are two exits that for me have needed to happen. Have been needing to happen for a while. So this is good news for me. I'm obviously going to go with the story about Adrien Rabiot, because that is a story that I was going to talk about anyway. Sorry, bear with me. Also, the other thing that's worth mentioning about this Granit Xhaka story, I guess that poo-poos any chance of us signing in Didi, like we had any chance anyway. So here we go. Adrian Rabiot. So it looks as though with Adrian Rabiot, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get to the story. Do you know what would be easier if I just type Rabiot? Sorry guys, bear with me. Please do stick a like on this video if you haven't already. Please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. I hope you're enjoying the show. I will be doing my Star Wars spoiler review on Shitflix later tonight, so do look out for that. And bear with me as I talk about this. Now, Adrian Rabiot. So Arsenal have been linked with this move. We've been linked with Rabiot for probably the last 4 or 5 years. But then obviously when he went to PSG when he left PSG for free and went to Juventus, we thought, okay, that was that done. He's not particularly had the most successful of times at Juventus. He's found himself on the bench more time than not. To be honest, to be fair to him, even Ramsey struggled to get into that Juventus side. They'd rather play Emre Can now. So subsequently, as a result, Arsenal, surprise, surprise, are being linked with the move. Now, obviously, we are expected to bolster our defense and our core of our midfield. So obviously, you could see why the name Adrian Rabiot has come to the forefront. It is worth bearing in mind, Adrian Rabiot is earning a eye-watering. That's not even the paper saying that. That's me saying that because I didn't even realize it was on this sort of money. He's earning an eye-watering £400,000 a week. Whew. Also, keep in mind, he moved there for free. So that's probably why he was able to demand such a high contract. But yeah, according to this, he's earning £400,000 a week. I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't aware he was on so much money. So yeah, apparently it looks like we might make a move for him. For me, I put this in the same category as the Koulibaly story, and I will talk about the Koulibaly story shortly because people keep asking me about that, and I know why people are asking me about that. I'll be surprised if he ends up leaving Juventus so soon, even as a loan. And there's also another story saying that Juventus will block any loan move for Adrian Rabiot. So those people who are talking about the Rabiot move, I think might as well look elsewhere. I don't see it happening. I see the Grealish thing happening before I see that happening. I actually think the Grealish thing is a decent target. I think he'll put in a lot of effort. He plays it in a Granit Xhaka type of position. He has Premier League experience. And although I must admit, normally I don't rate Jack Grealish, but the last 3 months has shown me something. So go get Jack Grealish, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I think that's more likely than the Adrian Rabiot one. And then finally, let me talk about the last story, and that's Koulibaly. Obviously, this story came out, was it yesterday? Christmas Eve, actually, it came out. And that is Arsenal are very interested in Koulibaly. Our news for you, most of the teams in England are interested in Koulibaly. Truth be told, and this is someone that if you've a long-term subscriber to the channel, I was banging on about Koulibaly before anybody. Before anybody. Go check the ratings. I've had this show for the last 3.5 years. The Koulibaly train has got started 2 years ago. I've been banging on about Koulibaly for a long, long time. It was always thought that it was quite difficult for him to get out of his contract because for ages, Koulibaly was earning dumb money, like $5,000 a week or some shit. Which, don't get me wrong, for me and you, $5,000 a week is fantastic. For someone like Koulibaly, not so much. And then they offered him a new contract, and I think he's on something like $50,000 a week now. But obviously, since he signed that contract, a number of things have happened at Napoli. You know, the club has sit down the league. The manager has now left. The club, quite honestly, are doing an Arsenal right now. From his perspective, he's 28, just turned 28. and he's looking for a new challenge, and we could possibly be that challenge. From our point of view, what a statement of intent to go and say, right, we're going to go and get the best defender that in world football, arguably outside of Van Dijk. Outside of Van Dijk, don't get me wrong, Liverpool fans, outside of Van Dijk, in world football over the last 3 years. And we're going to spend 55 million. That's right. Apparently, he'll cost 55 million pounds. Now, how likely is this? Not very. I think if he was 23, this deal is much more likely. 28 years old, are you really going to get resale value for a 55 million pound signing? Probably not. The other argument is, all right, well, if you're prepared to pay 55 million for Koulibaly, why don't you just add 10 million and then go and get Upamecano? And that would also be a valid conversation as well. And mind you, I've been banging on about Koulibaly for 3 years. But it is what it is. From my point of view, I would love us to go get him. But I'd also just love us to get a defender of that type of quality. Someone who's strong, can adapt to the Premier League, who's got decent pace, good awareness. And I know the other thing that I guarantee somebody in the chat room is saying right now is, oh, well, you know, Koulibaly's standard has slipped. Koulibaly's standard has slipped about as much as Virgil van Dijk's standard has slipped. In the sense that he was upper echelon good, now he's just very good. Don't get it twisted. That is still a defender that is light years ahead of any defender we have at that club. And the potential of matching someone like a Koulibaly next to a youngster like a Saliba, you do two things there. First of all, you have a solid defense. You have two big black guys in defense. Let's be real, two big, strong black guys in defense. Strikers, I think, are twice. And then secondly, you've got someone in Saliba who's learning for someone as experienced as Koulibaly, who, let's face it, in 2 to 3 to 4 years' time, steps into that experienced role. At the age of, he's 19 now, 3 to 4 years' time, he's at that prime level. And as someone who's learned the game as well. And from our point of view, Arsenal are very rarely have two good defenders. Not since the old school days of, you know, Tony Adams and Keown and that. We very rarely have two defenders. Listen, I love Kolo Touré, but let's be real here. Sol Campbell was the guy. Kolo Touré was the support act. Let's be honest. You know? In my opinion, and I think people are seeing this now, I think people often thought that Koscielny was the guy and Mertesacker was the support act. I always saw through that. To me, Mertesacker was the guy. He was the guy that could read the game. He just couldn't run. That was his only thing. He had the height, he had the presence, he had the intelligence, he could read the game. Koscielny was the support act. He was the legs. He was the person that did the physical work. And I think, in my opinion, if we were to get something like a Koulibaly and a Koulibaly and a Saliba would be the support act, but he's learning. So he should be the support act if he's learning. Koulibaly would be the guy. Imagine that. You buy a couple of, and let's be real here, at this point, it's probably a summer job. Although we got that many injuries, it might need to be a January job. You get someone like a Max Aarons, right back. You get potentially another left back, depending on whether Saka kicks on and develops. Did you sort it out that defense? Because that's what I want to sort out, man. That defense. Then go get a DM that just sits in there and does his thing. Because I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys love him. I'm not convinced Torreira is that guy. I'm not convinced yet. I think he's good. I think he's got potential. But I'm not convinced Torreira is that guy yet. I would prefer a specialist DM in that position to then just allow everybody else to do their thing. So yeah, that would be kind of my thought process on everything. You guys let me know what you think. Please leave it in the comments below. leave it in the chat room. Let me come and check you guys out and see what you lot are saying. 160 people watching. Please do stick a like on this video. Right, let me just quickly scan the donations. Rabba, if Koulibaly comes to the Premier League but not Paul, I'll cry. And let's be real here. If we don't secure a deal quickly, Liverpool will. And imagine that defense. We might as well give up. All right. That's the only donation that came in. But thank you, guys. Thank you. You know, you guys never have to donate. So I appreciate that. All right, guys. Let me chill with you guys for 10 minutes and then I'll bounce up out of here. What do you think of the story? What do you guys think of the story? Indeed, he's perfect. 100% agree. In terms of DM, 100% agree. Torreira isn't that guy. We need to get better than him. Saka, too good to play deputy. Maybe. I don't think he necessarily showed that today, but maybe. Partey could be that guy. I've never overly rated Partey, I must admit. But let me tell you something. He's better than what we have. I'd have him. I would have him. 400k is too much. Yeah. Grealish is class still. What do you guys do? Would you have Jack Grealish replace Granit Xhaka? What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea? Isco is a no-go. Koulibaly would be immense. Who is Partey? Come on, guys. You must know who Partey is. Thomas Partey. I'd call back Daniel Crawley. Oh my gosh, that is an old school name. Kondogbia. I didn't want Kondogbia before. I'm not sure now. I think Kondogbia is almost 30, if not 30. Liverpool don't need anyone. Listen, you could always be perfect. You could always be closer to perfect. And let me tell you something, in a heartbeat, they'd put Koulibaly next to a Van Dijk. Just imagine that defense. Oh my gosh. Makes me cry just thinking about it. Chig, we need a defense, but not good enough. Shot coming from the midfield. What about Sancho? We got so many more problems before we even consider a Jordan Sancho. He's not even in my consideration. I'd have Jack Grealish all day long. Grealish in a heartbeat. Yeah, me too. Grealish is more like an Ozil replacement. Not for me. I think he works too hard to be considered a number 10. I think he's an 8. I honestly don't. I think an 8 is his position. Grealish, not for me. I knew someone would have rated him, and I knew it would be Omar that wouldn't rate him. I would have Grealish. Marble thinks he's overrated. Okay, interesting. Do you rate Umar from Leon or Ura from Eon? Leon, I know exactly who that is. I just can't say his name. He's the guy that people said was always better than Nabil Fekir. That people said that, oh, why do people always bang on about Fekir? That actually the guy that you want to get from Leon to make Lacazette tick is this guy. I've forgotten his name, but he plays as a number 8 for Leon as well. Very, very good. Very, very good. Let me tell you something. If you couldn't get a decent number 10, get this guy. I mean, he's so good, so technically good. Yeah, I would. I do like him a lot. Somebody asked the other day if I would like, who's that new Podolski guy that we were linked with? No, I wouldn't have him. I can't remember his name, but no, I wouldn't have him. I rated Enua over Ndombele. Okay, yeah, and Anua is good. Yeah, he's really, really good. I know I'm butchering his name, but I butcher names. You know this. Uh, get Aaron Moy from Brighton. I'll tell you what. Would you guys get that Aston Villa? I think he's like a left midfielder, not Grealish. Um, what is his name? People keep banging on about that they think he's good. Madison would be the perfect replacement. He's a number 10 though. I'd have Madison as an Ozil replacement for sure. I'll take Iniesta on loan. Still a class player. From Ryan. Big up to you, Ryan. McGuinn, that's the one. John McGuinn. Would you have him? Would you have John McGuinn from Aston Villa? He's quite good, you know. I don't know. I'd have him, but he's quite good. Yes, you did, AFC. Yeah, you did. I think you're the one that actually put me onto him, to be fair. I'd have McGuinn and Grealish. But that would be Villa finished. Imagine if you took those two. That'd be Villa finished. Madison would never... Listen, we should write off any Leicester player. Why would you come? Why would you come here? We're also being linked with that Turkish defender that Leicester bought. Again, I think we'll continuously be linked to him. Yeah, he's solid as F. No, we need quality midfielders. Rabiot. All right, guys. We are heading towards 5 to 7. Please, surprise to 8, I should say. Please do stick a like on this video. Mr. Gomez, you missed my stream earlier with Lee, probably for the best because Lee was on one. But big up for your donation, bro. Appreciate it. Sionku, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, big up to your donation, brother. And yes, I'm all right, brother. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good Christmas. Sionku, yes. Can we loan Pogba? No, thank you. No, thank you. Would us guys have Mings? Sure. I'd prefer. Why is my brain not working? Who's the other guy who's the good defender that they have? Mixed race defender. It's not Tyrone Mings. It's someone else that Bournemouth have. Remind me, guys. I'm getting old. I'm forgetting these things. Lee was wrecked. Chig, are you watching Leicester versus Liverpool? Loosely. I won't do a watch along for it though. But loosely, I'll watch it. Weren't we being linked with Sionku in the summer? Yeah, we were. We've been linked with Sionku for like 18 months. Aki, that's the one. Chat room on point today. Yes, Nathan Aki I'd have. Nathan Aki is the one I'd have. I'd have him in a heartbeat. I think he's really good. A bit injury prone, but I think he's really good. Never fear, I'm here as long as Buster. Definitely the resident heel in the chat. Not even a prime Bergkamp and Henry can save these bunch. Do you know what I mean? Trade Nelson plus cash. Hold on. 1 second. Mr. Martin, just to respond to this, no. Listen, for all of his faults, I'm not going to simply not have somebody on. Let's take away the fact for a second that we're actually good friends. I'm not going to take away people on because I don't agree with them or because the chat room don't agree with them. One of the critiques that people had about my show is that I don't have enough people on that I disagree with or the chat disagrees with. So I'm not going to stop that now because you don't agree with him. He has his opinion. And I think sometimes when he feels passionate about that opinion and he's had a drink or two, Yes, every now and again he will go overboard with the rants. But I also, when I have people on, because I talk at you lot most of the time, this is my channel. So 70-80% of the time, it's me. So when I have a guest on, just like I would if I invited someone to my flat, I tend to make it about them. So they will do what they need to do, say what they need to say. It's their opinion. I don't necessarily agree with Lee, but I will allow the boy the right to his own opinion. And I most certainly am not going to distance myself because, you know, people aren't happy with them. So whilst I understand what you're saying, it's never been my style to be like, I'm gonna sell my friend down the river because, you know, people don't agree with them. I would never do that. And you lot, most of you lot wouldn't respect me if I did that either. And to be honest, rightly so. Yeah, bless him. The boy has some strong opinions. But I'm not gonna tell him, oh, I'm not one of these people who just is gonna just sell him down the river and think, oh, because I know there are some YouTube channels out there that would do this, that have done this to him, where because a couple of people have said, oh, don't have Leon anymore because, you should really distance yourself away from him, and then they've not invited him back on. That's not my style. You guys know me. I'm always real with you. I respect everyone in the chat room, but I'd be lying to you. In fact, I'll be disingenuous to myself if I ever turn around to you and say, well, I'm not going to have Leon because a couple of people in the chat room don't agree with him. I will never do that. I will always try and say to you, yes, I know Lee sometimes when he comes on, he's had a drink, he'll dominate the conversation. But I'm not going to apologize because you don't agree with his opinion. It's his opinion. Let him have it. It's what it is. Who cares if he thinks one way? I think a completely different way. Doesn't stop us being friends. Doesn't stop me wanting to invite him on. So yeah, I thought I'd give you a thorough answer to that, just in case anyone else tries to jump on that wagon. Chig for DM. Listen, I'd be a good DM. I'd be a good DM. See, look, on half of the chat room even agree with him. Do you know what I'm saying? Some jokes about Lee's hairline, but Lee makes those jokes himself. Yeah, so watch me, bro. Watch me. Watch me. I'm not gonna listen. Watch me. Do you think Lee doesn't have people on that hate me as well? Imagine if Lee turned around and said, "Boy, let me not have Chig on too much because I'm getting a few people on that don't like him." So why would I do that to him? I'd respect him less if he did that to me, and I'd respect myself less if I did that to him. So yeah, it is what it is. He's a lovely guy. Listen, Lee's a lovely guy. And I know the reason you lot are sour on him. I get it. But people are allowed opinions, and he has hard ones. Kartik, come on, guy. You know what I do. At Chelsea, I can't listen. I won't give away because obviously I do my preview for that, and I'll probably do it. Gosh, it's Thursday now. I'll probably do it on Saturday. But I suppose this is a little insight into what I do. I'd go after Chelsea. That's what I do. They're low on confidence. You're at home. Go after them. Have them. So what? We lose a game. At least before today started, we were 11th. So just go after them. Be brave and go after them. And then we might actually have half a chance. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it, my bro. All right, guys. I'm Nimsy Lot. Cronkate out. Squad overhaul. Actually, you know what? I agree with that, and I'm going to sign off on that. So, you guys, thank you so much for your attention today on this channel. Please do stick a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be back later on Chick Flicks. If you're wondering what Chick Flicks is, see that link in the description below? Go check out that link in the description below. Click on Chick Flicks, hit that subscribe button, and you will see my spoiler review for the Star Wars film if you're into that kind of thing. And if you ain't, guess what? You don't have to check it out. It is what it is. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.